The camera flashes stopped, and 200 people at the movie premiere watched in stunned silence as police handcuffs clicked around River Phoenix's wrists. Hollywood, October 1991. The Egyptian Theatre on Hollywood Boulevard glows with Klieg lights cutting through the autumn evening sky. Red carpet stretches from the street to the golden doors, like a crimson river leading to cinema's most sacred temple. My Own Private Idaho is premiering tonight, and the entertainment industry has gathered to celebrate what critics are calling River Phoenix's most powerful performance to date. The air crackles with flashbulbs, expensive perfume, and the particular electricity of Hollywood's biggest night. Limousines discharge their precious cargo of stars, directors, producers, and the constellation of people who orbit around successful films. Velvet ropes hold back screaming fans whose voices create a wall of sound that announces to the world that something important is happening here. River Phoenix, 21 years old, steps from his limousine onto the red carpet, wearing a simple black tuxedo that complements his natural grace rather than overwhelming it. His blonde hair is styled, but not overly so, maintaining the slightly wild texture that makes him look authentically youthful rather than manufactured for cameras. Tonight represents the culmination of months of intense work, bringing Gus Van Sant's challenging vision to life through a character that required him to explore complex themes of sexuality, identity, and the search for belonging. The premiere represents more than just another film opening. My Own Private Idaho is River's declaration that he refuses to be limited by Hollywood's narrow definitions of what a young male star should become. The role of Mike Waters, a narcoleptic street hustler searching for his mother, required emotional vulnerability and artistic courage that could either elevate his career to new heights or damage it permanently if audiences and critics rejected his bold choices. Beside him, stepping from the same limousine, Johnny Depp emerges wearing an elegant black tuxedo with subtle personal touches, a vintage watch, slightly loosened bow tie, hair falling across his forehead with calculated carelessness. At 28, Johnny has already proven his ability to transition from television success to serious dramatic work, and his presence at River's premiere demonstrates the friendship and mutual respect that's developed between two actors navigating similar career challenges. "You ready for this?" Johnny asks quietly as they begin their walk down the red carpet toward the theater entrance. "As ready as anyone can be for having their soul examined by 200 journalists," River replies with a slight smile that doesn't entirely hide his nervousness about the evening's scrutiny. The red carpet experience unfolds with practiced precision. Photographers shout their names from behind velvet ropes, requesting poses and expressions that will sell magazines and generate publicity for the film. Entertainment reporters thrust microphones toward them, seeking sound bites about the creative process, the challenges of the role, and River's evolution from teen heartthrob to serious dramatic actor. "River, how does it feel to be taking such artistic risks with your career?" calls Linda Chen from Entertainment Tonight, her camera crew positioned for optimal lighting. River pauses, considering the question seriously rather than delivering a prepared response. "I think taking risks is what keeps the work interesting. If you're not challenging yourself, if you're not exploring territory that scares you a little, then you're probably not growing as an artist. The questions continue as they move slowly toward the theatre entrance. River handles each inquiry with thoughtfulness and authenticity, discussing his collaboration with Gus Van Sant, the research he conducted to understand his character's world, and his commitment to telling stories that matter beyond simple entertainment value. Johnny supports his friend throughout the process, contributing when appropriate, but allowing River to be the focus of attention on his night. Their friendship is evident in small gestures, Johnny positioning himself to deflect overly aggressive photographers, River including Johnny in conversations when reporters try to isolate him. Both actors maintaining the easy camaraderie that sustained them through the pressures of Hollywood success. Halfway down the red carpet, they encounter Richard Stone from Celebrity Weekly, the tabloid journalist who specializes in finding controversy where none exists, who measures success by his ability to generate sensational headlines regardless of their relationship to truth or fairness. "River!" Stone calls out, his photographer already snapping pictures without permission. "There are rumors about method acting techniques you used for this role. Some people are saying you went too far, that you actually experienced some of the lifestyle elements your character lives through." The question hangs in the air, like a toxic cloud. Other reporters lean in, sensing potential scandal. Camera flashes intensify, capturing every micro-expression on River's face as he processes not just the question, but the malicious intent behind it. River's expression doesn't change, but Johnny notices the slight tightening around his friend's eyes that indicates controlled anger. The implication in Stone's question is clear, that River somehow compromised himself or engaged in illegal activity to prepare for his role. A suggestion designed to create headlines regardless of its truth. "I researched the character thoroughly and worked closely with Gus Van Sant to find the truth of Mike Waters," River responds calmly. "That's what actors do. We find ways to understand the people we're portraying without necessarily living their exact experiences." Stone pushes harder, sensing weakness. "But surely you can understand why people might be concerned about young actors taking on such challenging material. Some industry insiders are questioning whether you're equipped to handle these kinds of complex roles." Before River can respond, the atmosphere on the red carpet changes dramatically. 4 men in dark suits push through the crowd of photographers and reporters, moving with the particular intensity of law enforcement officials conducting serious business. The lead figure, Detective Martinez, early 40s, carries a folder of documents and the grim expression of someone about to ruin someone's evening. "River Phoenix," Martinez calls out, his voice cutting through the ambient noise of the premiere like a blade. "LAPD, you need to come with us." The red carpet falls completely silent. 200 people, reporters, photographers, industry executives, fellow actors, freeze in place as they process what's happening. Camera flashes continue, but now they're documenting something much more serious than a movie premiere. River's face shows genuine confusion rather than guilt or fear. "I'm sorry, officer. Is there some kind of problem?" Martinez approaches, flanked by 3 other officers, who position themselves to prevent any attempt to flee or resist. "You're under arrest for possession of controlled substances and obstruction of justice. Turn around and put your hands behind your back." The words hit like physical blows. Johnny steps forward instinctively, his face showing complete shock and disbelief. This is his friend, someone he knows personally and professionally, someone whose character and integrity he's witnessed in private moments when there are no cameras or audiences to perform for. "There has to be some mistake," Johnny says, his voice carrying the authority of someone accustomed to being heard and respected. "River doesn't use drugs. This is obviously some kind of misunderstanding." Martinez ignores Johnny's protest, focusing entirely on River. "Sir, turn around and place your hands behind your back. Now." River looks directly at Johnny for a moment, some silent communication passing between them that reflects months of friendship and mutual support through the challenges of Hollywood success. His expression shows bewilderment rather than fear, confusion rather than guilt. "It's okay, Johnny," River says quietly, beginning to turn around as instructed. "Let them do what they need to do. This will get sorted out." The metallic click of handcuffs echoes across the silent red carpet as Martinez secures River's wrists behind his back with professional efficiency. The sound cuts through the shocked silence like a gunshot, transforming what should have been a celebration of artistic achievement into a nightmare of legal accusations and public humiliation. Johnny stands frozen, one hand partially raised toward his friend, mouth slightly open in shock, eyebrows raised in disbelief. He watches in horror as River Phoenix, one of the most talented and principled actors of their generation, gets treated like a common criminal in front of the entire entertainment industry. Camera flashes explode like fireworks as photographers realize they're witnessing the kind of scandalous moment that sells millions of magazines and newspapers. Entertainment reporters thrust microphones forward, shouting questions about the arrest, the charges, the implications for River's career, and the film's success. The crowd of premiere guests presses closer, some pointing in shock, others covering their faces in embarrassment at witnessing such a public downfall. Industry executives exchange worried glances, already calculating the potential damage to box office receipts and award season campaigns. "River Phoenix, you have the right to remain silent," Martinez recites, while guiding River toward the waiting police cars that have appeared at the edge of the red carpet. "Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law." As they escort River away from the premiere, past the shocked faces of colleagues and friends, Johnny finally breaks from his frozen position. He follows the police officers, calling out to his friend. "River, don't say anything until your lawyer gets there. I'm calling David Chen right now." River turns his head slightly, making eye contact with Johnny one final time before being placed in the back of the police car. His expression shows gratitude for Johnny's support, mixed with embarrassment at the public spectacle his arrest has created. The police cars disappear into Los Angeles traffic, taking River to downtown booking, while leaving behind a red carpet full of stunned industry professionals trying to process what they've witnessed. The premiere continues, but the celebration feels hollow, overshadowed by the dramatic arrest that will dominate entertainment news for weeks. Johnny remains on the sidewalk, long after the police cars vanish, staring down Hollywood Boulevard with an expression of complete bewilderment. The friend he knows, the professional he respects, the person whose integrity he's witnessed in private moments, none of that reconciles with the criminal charges that just destroyed what should have been River's triumphant night. Hours later, After the premiere ends and the red carpet gets rolled away, Johnny learns that the arrest was based on false information provided by a disgruntled former associate seeking revenge for perceived professional slights. The charges are dropped within 24 hours, when prosecutors realize they have no actual evidence of criminal activity. But the damage is done. The arrest photographs dominate entertainment media, overshadowing any coverage of River's powerful performance in My Own Private Idaho. The film succeeds critically and earns River an Academy Award nomination, but the premiere night arrest becomes part of his legend. A reminder of how quickly success can transform into scandal in Hollywood's unforgiving spotlight. Years later, after River's tragic death, Johnny remembers the premiere arrest as a perfect example of his friend's grace under pressure. Even while being handcuffed in front of the entire entertainment industry, River maintained his dignity and concern for others rather than himself. That was River, Johnny says in interviews. Even in his worst moments, he thought about protecting the people around him, rather than just protecting himself. That's the kind of person he was, and that's why his loss still hurts so much. The night that turned triumph into trauma, celebration into scandal, success into sympathy. 7 seconds on a red carpet in 1991, when false accusations transformed a movie premiere into a cautionary tale about fame's fragility and friendship's strength.